Everyone, so today we are doing dahlia cuttings. I have a plastic tote that is kind of short. Some people call them sweater totes, but I planted my dahlia tubers inside of here, and you can kind of see some of the roots growing through the bottom of it. This is kind of what I do to do starts, and you can see that tubers are growing real nicely, and each variety is labeled with a plant tag and separated by these bamboo sticks. I've used yarn in the past to separate them, but yeah, so how I do it is we go, let's see if we zoom in a little bit. So this is a variety of mine. This is a seedling of mine, and I'm wanting to grow a lot of them, and it's very productive in giving off seedlings or cuttings. And some people will go through and cut them at the base and take part of the tuber head, but what I like to do to kind of keep things more sanitary is what is called the pull method. You grab the base of the sprout and you just kind of wiggle it off, and it pops off just like that. Now what I will do is remove these two lower leaves at the bottom like that. Put that in the trash. So we have this cutting here, and let's see, try to zoom back out. So we have this cutting here, and I use what is called a iHort plug. It's International Horticultural Technologies. Some other brands called Root Riot, but this one, just like with the zinnia seeds, I trim off the bottom, but this one here has a split in it. So I always kind of split it open a little bit more. That way it holds the base of the cutting further down in there. Then this little cap, I have some rooting hormone powder in it. You can pretty much use any type of rooting hormone, and this particular one is called it's called Hormex number 8. So number 8 just pretty much means that they have 0.08% of IBA, which is a rooting hormone. And then I just place this inside of the Root Riot, or sorry, iHort plug, and I'll place this in a 72 tray, or 72 count tray. So this variety, I label the front of the row, and I just take it and place it inside. It sits in a 10-20 tray, and in here I have water that has a tiny bit of nitrogen in it. Calcium nitrogen equals to roughly 1 tablespoon of calcium nitrogen per gallon of water. So it's a real weak solution. But to speed along the process, most of the times I like to work in series. So I go through and I'll pop off the cuttings, pull the lower leaves, and just set it back into the tray. That way I am just doing one task at a time. Now sometimes cuttings are a lot thicker than these guys here, and I still use the same method of just kind of grabbing the base and wiggling it till it pops off of the crown section of the dahlia tuber that is being sprouted. Sometimes it's like pulling a loose tooth. And sometimes it'll have larger leaves like this, and I'll even pop those leaves off too. This particular variety is very good at producing eyes on a tuber. And I already have quite a few of this particular variety. I'm gonna set my bucket of plugs up here, and I just go through and do the cuttings. You want to have at least one node below the top of the plug. This particular dahlia I introduced this year. It's called ORF for Oak Ridge Farms One Shot Gunner. Yes, it's a long name, but it was the very first dahlia seedling that I saw, I liked, I kept, grew out for 4 years, and now continuing that particular plant. It's a orange and raspberry two-toned ball. Some may classify it as a formal decorative, but I would actually call it a miniature ball for the size. Now you can see that I started a new row, so I'll go to my computer and printer and print out another tag for that variety and stick it in the front of the row on the dahlia cutting tray. And that's pretty much it. So as I do more cuttings and clear out this bed, I will also water this particular tray. That way they keep on conditioning or pushing more stems for more cuttings. Over the past few years, I have always just kind of put cuttings at random. This year, I did a little bit more organization. You can kind of see at the bottom right here, I have a tag that says F, and then on the front of the 1020 trays, I also put an F. That way, when I move these guys out to my high tunnel, they will kind of start to harden off, and when I start to plant them, I can just correlate with the tray letter and find that particular variety in that series. So after I do the cuttings, I'll take a humidity dome and actually place on top of these trays, and I kind of leave it there for quite a while, about 10 to 14 days. And what'll happen is, let's see, they'll start pushing roots, just like that. This is a Jowie Linda variety that I started last year, but I needed more plants of this one to get a good assess of how well it grows and if it does well in my climate. But you can see all the roots there. Now sometimes the roots will grow out the bottom of the tray, and that's okay. It's still early enough in the season that when I plant out these cuttings, they will have plenty of time to grow more roots and tubers for the for me, and also grow flowers. So anyway, if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions, ask them below. Talk to you later. Bye.